Good morning and happy new year, family. Welcome to our first of the year ILCA special public crypto talk and overview. My name is your Queen Connectress, Miss Marnie DaCasa, and I will be your humble hostess for today. Now, there is something that I always like to say, and that is we totally understand there are so many different things you can be doing with your time. My goodness, it's a beautiful Saturday morning. So the fact that you guys decided to come on out and hear what we have to say, of course, that makes us so very happy. So again, thank each and every one of you for being here. And what you are about to find out is this is exactly the place that you need to be, especially if you're somebody like me, who this year you're promising yourself that you're going to do it a little different. You're going to learn a little more, and you're going to take it a little farther than you did that last year. What you're about to find out is that the Ivy League Coaching Academy has been spending all of 2025 preparing for this moment right now. We have new connections. We have new groups. We're going to have new information that you guys can enjoy and that can help you get to where you need to be. So again, thank each and every one of you for being here. Now, I see my beautiful family coming on in on the Zoom side. Hello, everyone. It is so very good to see you guys. I said we made it. Hello. There are people that come and go from our community, but the fact that you guys stayed, you stuck it out, and you're here for the future always makes us so happy. So again, thank each and every one of you for being here. Now, those of you that are on the Zoom call, please type your name and where you are from in that chat box. That way I can tell the world who is here on the Zoom call with us. And those of you on Facebook, hi babies, come on over to the Zoom side. You guys can join us at B as in boy, cryptochallenge.com. Again, that's bbcryptochallenge.com. And then you can be here on the cool side. Now, before I start introducing everyone, I want to give a special shout out to one of our community members. Clairvaux Albert is now a certified student of the Ivy League Coaching Academy. Congratulations, sir. We are so very proud of you. So you guys get ready to start hearing some Clairvaux music coming on out. So first up, I see you, Gina. Hi, baby. Gina was nice and early. It's so good to see you. I think you said she's in Myrtle Beach. Hey, Queen, enjoy yourself. It's always good to see you. I see we have Mr. David on the line. Hello, David. How are you? Thank you so very much for joining us. Of course, the beautiful Rhoda is here. Hi, Rhoda. How are you? You guys are going to hear about our River of Money group. Rhoda is in that group, and she is killing it right now. We salute you, Queen. Keep going. I see Joy King is here with us today. Mwah. Hello, Joy. I'm so glad you were able to make it. Of course, my good friend Stan T is in the house. Hello, Stan. How are you, sweetheart? It is always good to see you. I see Miss Rita B is here representing San Diego, California. She's another one of our certified students. Hello, Queen. I see my beautiful love, Tammy Goley's here. Hi, Tammy. How are you? Happy New Year's. Thank you so very much for being here. Of course, my partner in crime, her name is Joyce Easley. Hello, Angel. Happy New Year. It's so very good to see you. Miss Janelle Appling is here representing Colorado. We have Miss Patty Geist representing San Diego, California. Happy New Year, baby. I see Chris Hall is in the house. Hi, Chris. How are you? Pedro is here. Of course, the beautiful Judy is here representing Canada. It's always good to see you, Queen. I see Dee Thompson is in the house. Marshawn is here. Clairvaux is here. The family is all here. So let's go ahead and get this party started again. Thank each and every one of you for joining us on our Super Saturday, the first of the year, ILCA overview and special public crypto talk. My name is your Queen Connectress, Miss Marnie DaCasa, and I am your humble hostess for today. Now, it is my honor to introduce you all to a man that for over 25 years dominated the direct sales industry. His cryptocurrency education is used by companies and universities worldwide. Now, for over 9 years, gosh, he dedicated his life to learning about blockchain technology and cryptocurrency, but he didn't stop there. He decided to go out and share his information with the masses. And this was done by putting on fun and exciting Bitcoin boot camps nationwide at no cost. He has built thriving communities and wonderful platforms like you see before you now. Happy New Year. So without further ado, it is my honor to introduce you all to Mr. Brandon Ivey.
All right. Thank you for that introduction, Miss Casa. Happy New Year to you and your family and to everybody else. And thank you for giving us another year of your commitment and your time and your resources and value to our community for ILCA. You are much appreciated and cherished and valued with all of us. And 2026, here we go. This is our fourth year of ILCA. We launched ILCA January 2022. How fast 4 years goes by. If you guys were here when we first launched ILCA, type me in the chat box. That even goes for those of you on Facebook that have been watching us for the last 4 years. You know, most businesses do not survive their first year in business. Yet we're here still going 4 years in. So I'm very grateful and thankful for that. And the beginning of a new year, this is our very first public and private crypto talk that we're doing. This is going to be a little bit modified for today because I woke up to a new world this morning. I don't know about you guys. If you paid attention, my son woke me up talking about some crazy stuff was going on that we're gonna briefly chat about and see how this is gonna impact our markets and impact what's going on around the world. So thank you for all of you guys for still plugging in. 2026, we are planning to be a very big year for ILCA and our community and our members. One of our main goals is to help individuals be able to earn a full-time income passively this year through the education that ILCA is providing and the opportunities that we are sharing with you to take part in if you choose to do that. Just over the last 6 months, we've helped members in this community now qualify to be able to receive almost $1 million in business funding. Let me repeat that. Almost $1 million in business funding that is in your hand, your control, and you do with whatever you please. Our education wants to show you what to do with it, how to make that work for you. But it is your decision what you want to do with it. We just show you how to get it. And so that's going to be a big theme for us in 2026. Not only that, but our river of money that Ms. Costa just spoke about, opportunities, because I believe 2026 is going to be either one of the best financial years of your business career, or this is going to be the the most difficult financial year that you've had in a very long time. We still have a choice on which end of that spectrum, which line we're going to sit on. And it is a choice because there's no excuse anymore. A person, and I talked about this on the secret call and the passive versus residual income calls the other couple of days ago, but there's no excuse for somebody to be able to say, and I did everything that I was told to do. I went to school. I got good grades. I got a good, safe, secure job, but my job is not paying me enough money to survive. Inflation is going out of control. We're losing our health coverage and insurance. We're losing our medical. We're losing, I mean, we don't, I was at the eye doctor yesterday, and there was a family that was in there, and they were struggling with their vision, health insurance, and what they thought was supposed to be composed to since it's the new year. Things have changed, and just, I kind of can ear hustle and listening to the husband and the wife their side chatter when the customer service guy wasn't there. He was in the back, and they're like, "How are we gonna do this? We're gonna so we'll move this around." I'm like, that's a common conversation that Americans gonna have. How are we gonna rob Paul to pay Peter? Well, where are we gonna get these extra resources from? Get a second job? Maybe get a raise? But it's not staying up to what's going on with inflation, and then all of the unknown that is happening in the world that is impacting the lower value of the U.S. dollar. It's just going to be very challenging for those that don't have an option. The option is that because of blockchain technology, and I discovered this in May 2014, oh, wait, 2017. Two things that I learned that changed my life and my career. The first is that first, blockchain technology will disrupt every single industry on the planet today, whether you like it or not, whether you believe it or not, whether you trust it or not. Your opinion of this is irrelevant. You should see if you can go back in time and see the conversations I had with people back in 2017 and 18 that thought I was crazy, that said, Brandon, you need to go back to network marketing. What are you doing? Even with my own parents about the move I was making in this space where you got to have vision on where this was going. I had the vision. I understood clearly what was about to happen, but not everybody could see that and thought I was, you must have lost your mind, Brandon. But I say your opinion of this is irrelevant. This is not my opinion that blockchain technology is going to do this. That is my observation of what is happening, like gravity. The second thing that I learned is that cryptocurrency represents the greatest economic shift in wealth in the history of mankind for the most amount of people. Now, first, let's talk about why is this the greatest economic shift in wealth? Because blockchain technology is going to be the fundamental core, basic baseline technology of every business on the planet. Our entire way of life, including the internet, it is unchallengeable. It is already being built under our feet right now while you sleep. Type in the chat box, how much money are we talking about that is on the table in the world with RWA, real world assets? 867 trillion. I had a talk with another superstar in this industry of network marketing named Eric Carter. And he said something that I didn't think of, or the way he phrased it. He said, every inch on this planet, every mile, every foot, every inch is going to be tokenized, including every industry. We don't have a say so in this. This is the next natural evolution of the financial system and money and how money is being moved. $867 trillion. Now, we have had other economic shifts in wealth in history, from the gold rush to the industrial revolution to the space race to the computer age, steel, electricity. If you want to really understand some history, watch on the History Channel a show called oh the Men Who Built America. That's it. The Men Who Built America. It covers between 1880 and 1920. And you have a good understanding more than 120 years ago, 140 years ago, where things are even today, how it got shaped. If you are in our 5-day challenge, the very first night I talk about River of Money, and I use the Trump family as an example on how they got started from the 1800s to today, where their wealth is coming from and how they have evolved over time. They have adapted, and they just did so over the last 15 months. More than $3 billion has been added to the Trump family since Trump won the election. And what industry did that money come from? The blockchain space. What is the one main focus that Eric Trump is having right now? Tokenization, tokenized real estate. Now, history has shown that every time there has been a shift in wealth, the wealthy who are already wealthy take full advantage of it to keep themselves on top, and everybody else is just observers to it and trying to get peanuts from it, where Reagan calls trickle down economics. For the first time in history now, the little guy has access just like the big guy does. I saw on the news this morning that Elon Musk is now worth more than $720 billion. Nobody on this planet in recorded history has had anywhere near that type of wealth other than Solomon from the Bible and Mansa Musa from North Africa 500 plus years ago. Never before. If that amount of wealth is available for one individual, he's worth more than countries now, like Belgium. Why is the average person struggling? You now have same access. You may not get to 700 billion, but you can get to millions. That's crumbs compared to somebody like Elon Musk. So when I say the greatest economic shift in wealth in the history of mankind for the most amount of people, that is because you only need three things to be plugged into this space. The first, a cell phone. How many of you have a cell phone? Everybody. The second, access to the internet. Soon that'll be universal and free. The third, and this is the most challenging, which is why ILCA is here, a willingness to learn. If you have those three things, you literally can write your own check and choose your own path. There's no one way is the right way. That's the thing. When blockchain technology is disrupting every industry, that means whatever you are already an expert in right now, whatever your background is, whatever your passion is, the blockchain is going to disrupt that space. So all you have to do is learn the technology and figure out how it's going to benefit or how you can use it to benefit the industry you are already in. And if you can't figure that out, then find an industry that is getting benefited from it and put yourself in front of it. Like my main source of learning now, my new topic of learning is real estate going into my 50s. Real estate. Digitized, tokenized, fractional ownership, passive income, purchasing income generating assets that I'm going to earn from regardless if I do anything after that. That's my focus. That doesn't necessarily need to be your focus. But as we go into 2026, I know they just raised minimum wages in some places. 70% of American jobs are not paying a livable wage, and it's only going to get worse. So if you don't have some I don't even want to call it a side gig, side investments that you don't need to have $1 million to get started or be a qualified investor. You can get started from where you're at and then grow from that to be having passive income coming in. You will struggle in 2026. That includes network marketers in any industry that is not generating passive income because you think you're getting residual income, and there's no such thing anymore. In fact, I'm going to be doing another. I was supposed to do a live yesterday. I fell asleep and took a long nap. But I'm going to do a live later on this afternoon, specifically talking about that again. And I just did one last week. This is my theme for this year. So what ILCA is here for is to open that door for you if you're brand new to this space or this the idea of earning an income outside of the traditional means, utilizing blockchain technology. Our goal is to open that door and then educate you on two things. The first is why. Why do I need to know about this? And that's where the coaching academy is coming in. Ivy League Coaching Academy. Why am I doing it? If you ever saw The Matrix and the Oracle would tell Neo, says, you've already made the decision. You're just trying to figure out why. Most people don't know why. And when you ask them, they say, I just want to make more money. Why? Why do you want to make more money? Well, obviously, so I can pay my bills. Okay, so once you pay your bills, then what's your why? What's the end game? What's the end? Life is not meant for us to be born and then figure out how to pay our bills and die. That's what the system has created. It's another form of slavery where you're only free after you retire and you live 2 extra years. Why are you doing what you're doing? Get that part out of the way, and then the rest is your life. Living naturally. That's what my theme was this year when I did The Secret. I only do that once a year, and I did it differently. And I learned because I've been growing. and myself, and I'm still growing. I am not an expert. I am just versed. All right. And I am always learning, and there's still a whole lot for me to learn. But I believe in earning while you're learning. A lot of people have paralysis of analysis. You're so busy trying to analyze and figure everything out that you say to yourself, I will not move a muscle until I get it. And those are the ones that miss out on everything. Because by the time they get it based on proof of somebody else. I'll wait till you make money before I do anything. Yeah, I've been that way before. Sometimes I'm still that way now with opportunities that just come on. Let me watch you for a couple of months first. And the people that got started then are already at $100,000 a year because I didn't move on it. So you don't want to be paralysis of analysis. Get in, jump in with four key rules. Four key rules that I've learned by trial and error. I was not taught this. Rule number one, education is key. Education is everything. Rule number two, never invest money you cannot afford to lose. This is not Vegas. Rule number three, always get your return back as fast as possible. You're here to make a profit. And rule number four, what are your goals? Set goals for yourself, short term, long term. Where are you going to be 3 months, 6 months, a year, 5 years, 6 years? The founder of eEstate shot me a message. So like, Brown, what's your 10-year goal? We got a 10-year game plan here. What's your goals? Set goals for yourself. And what do we talk about in The Secret? Focus on the goal, not the task. But most people don't know what the goal is outside of, I'm just trying to make some more money. That's not the goal. What is it that you want that money to do? There's your goal. That's what you focus on. And then the universe will provide opportunities in your path to reach that goal. And 9 times out of 10, it is not what you thought it was going to be. This is where you got to get out of your own way because since it's not what you thought it was going to be, you always miss the opportunity. That was me for 10 years until I finally figured it out and got myself out of my way, and then now that I think this way, it's what allows me to keep adapting over the years. And sometimes you got to call an audible on the play. You start off the year thinking you're going in one direction, you end the year in a completely different direction. And we just saw this. Go back to the secret recording 2024, December 2024, The Secret. I said the same thing that we always end the year in a different situation than we began, and the same was in 2025. I began January 2025 thinking everything was going to flow in one direction. At that time, I only had a focus on two things at that time. That was MoveQuest and ILCA. That was the focus. I was looking at MoveQuest going to a $700 a coin. I have multiple devices, making a couple thousand a day was the goal. Ended it completely with a partnership of a company called eEstate. That was not even on my radar screen. Now we start off 2026 a little bit different in my mentality than I did 2025, where we're launching the Ivy League Coaching Academy, where we have different divisions within ILCA from the crypto side. We're launching the coaching side. We're going to be launching our marketing side. We're going to be launching our ILCA health side. We have our river of money with multiple opportunities to earn passive income from your own health, moving to earn, to real estate, to trading, and I'm just giving some examples of our river of money, to now tokenized real estate. So now we have multiple income sources coming in from multiple places. And it gives us a platform to where by the end of 2026, I have no idea what's going to come down the way. I'm just going to be open to accepting it, all within the infrastructure of ILCA. That's how I'm moving now and our focus. And we're inviting you guys to go along for the ride. Over the next few Saturdays, we'll start to give you more detail on what you're going we have new websites coming out for ILCA, new branding look to it with our coaching academy. I just haven't uploaded them yet. New material, finishing of our decentralization courses, and I've already have done our brand new, which I should have did last year, stablecoin courses. This year, the theme of this year in crypto is going to be two words: tokenization and stablecoin. Those are going to be the two top dominating words in I can't even call it the crypto world. I got to call it the digital world. Stablecoin and tokenization. Saying crypto world is limiting. This is the new digital world that we're opening up. So those two things and a whole new series on the coaching side, focusing on personal development and self-improvement. This month is our very first 5-day challenge of 2026, and that's going to be the week of January 19th through the 23rd. Our focus is the theme of it's going to be tokenization. It's going to be the theme. We're going to be doing the River of Money on the first day, and I got to give a shout out to Kenny Taylor. I don't know if he's on here, but Kenny that gave the idea of Brandon. You talk about this space, but people don't understand why. So what if on the night one, especially for people that come for the first time, you speak about why. Speak about the river of money and why the river of money is pointing to this space. That way, people will be a little bit more receptive to hearing the information. So, okay, let's try it out. We did it for the first time in November, and I think you guys liked that. It went pretty good. So, we're going to be doing that again this month, but the focus is going to be on tokenization, passive income. And if you still don't understand the difference between residual income and passive income, I'm going to do another live. I'm going to be more short and more direct later on today. So this is our very first talk of the year. One of the things that we do that's the backbone of ILCA is crypto talks. Monday through Thursday. This is my learning time. First thing in the morning, I wake up and I'm researching the markets. I'm seeing what's going on because that's going to decide how I move with my time and my money. I just turn on the camera and the microphone and take you guys on the journey with me. I've been doing this since 2018. So this is not new. I just moved it behind our closed doors because it's valuable information and not for everybody. But once a week, I do it openly for the public. So for two reasons. One, because I'm giving back to the public. And two, to give our community members an opportunity to share with their friends and networks what ILCA is all about to then invite them to our community. Sometimes people need to sample the product. So that is what our Saturday presentations is about. I'll give a presentation on what ILCA is, and we're going to show you guys a short version of what our crypto talks are like in the morning. And every morning is like Christmas. We don't know what we're going to get. I don't do any type of research the night before. The only thing that happens is my assistant, Miss Casa, that morning of gives me a whole list of what's the latest news in the crypto world. I choose which ones I want to cover, and then we cover it. So I don't read these articles beforehand. You guys are getting my live reaction at the moment. And sometimes that's the most raw. I'm not doing it for clickbait or trying to earn money off of YouTube videos and things like that. I'm actually educating. That's the point. So let's jump on into that as an example. And boy, oh boy, do we have a lot of information waking up this morning. Here's another thing too, and since this is the very first, I got to kick it off by saying this. ILCA is built to be inclusive for everybody, regardless of race, religion, color, creed, or politics. And we cover geopolitics, what's going on around the world, because what's going on around the world is going to impact our investments, our money, our economy. You can't have your head in the sand and expect that you're going to be able to make financial moves and you don't know what's going going on. What I try, and I say try because I'm human, what I try to do is be as central as possible, not to give my own personal beliefs, but rather react to the facts and the news that's in front of me. So, do I have my own political thoughts and personal thoughts on religion and politics? Absolutely. And there'll be a day when I launch the Brandon Ivey Unleashed podcast where there's a point for that. Not here. And we ask our community members as well to keep your own personal beliefs to yourself because no matter what you say or do, somebody's going to be offended by it. And we want ILCA to be a safe environment where people can feel comfortable. But that does not mean we ignore what's going on. And there are times where I kind of slip and I'm running my mouth. All right. So don't take offense to any of it. We're just covering what is in front of us. What Jim Rohn said all the time was, you cannot control the things that happen to you, but you can control how you respond to the things that happen to you. Our goal is to be able to take what's going on in the world, not through our own bubble lens of what we want to happen, what we hope, and what we believe, but to take what is actually happening and figure out how can we use this information to our benefit. Okay? So I want to say that up front. So to be respectful to your fellow members as well with comments that you're going to be putting in the chat box when we cover a couple of topics, keep that in mind. You know, sometimes things don't need to be said. It's not the place. Saying that, let's jump on into this. What did I wake up to this morning? All right, let me go over some facts here. We have a president who has been campaigning to be the peacetime president and wants the Nobel Peace Prize. Didn't get it, so he had the Saudis create one for him. In the last 2 weeks, he's bombed Nigeria. And I'm not going to go into whether things were justified or not, because we bombed Nigeria to protect Christians being massacred. However, that's a two-way thing. While there have been Muslims massacring Christians, there have also been Christians massacring Muslims that is not covered in Western media. United States has never acted on that. So what is the real reason? You can try to figure that out on your own. We attacked Nigeria. We threatened Iran, and you can't yet President Trump is either on these facts lying or a hypocrite or both. What do I mean? I always come with the receipts. His reasoning for threatening Iran is that Iranian economy is tanking. We covered it in Crypto Talk. And we covered and we saw that Iran's because of the sanctions. I mean, you think inflation is bad here? Theirs is all. Imagine waking up tomorrow and everything is 3 times more expensive, yet your salary didn't go up. So there's massive protests happening against the Iranian government. And we have seen how the Iranian government has responded to protests in their nation in the past. So Trump said, if you act violently against your own protesters, we're locked and loaded and ready to go. Now, you may like that or you may not. Why do I call that hypocritical? Because when Americans just not too long ago was protesting against Donald Trump tweeted images of him flying a fighter jet and bombing American protesters with feces. So either you're for free speech or you're not. We wake up this morning, the American government has bombed Venezuela and kidnapped their leader, Maduro. Maduro is a bad guy. Maduro can be considered an illegitimate leader in Venezuela. All of that can be true. However, we don't have legal authority to just impose our will and say we're just going to regime change. This marks a split between what we've done in the past. Has Americans always done regime change? Absolutely. CIA is littered with it. Even Obama did it with Libya. However, involving America directly doing it and blatant like this without congressional approval and most importantly, without provocation. When you look at Iraq, Saddam Hussein, he invaded Kuwait. When you look at the second Gulf War and everything, it was 9/11 and the terrorism attacks on Americans. We had legal justification. There is no justification here. And when I say hypocritical, if you say it's about the drugs, less than 1% of fentanyl is coming out of Venezuela. So saying that Maduro was the drug king against America, while at the same time pardoning and releasing the Honduran president who has caused way more damage to the United States dealing with drugs. That's hypocritical. So the question is, what's the real reason? And we covered this in Crypto Talk. I told you guys, it ain't even the oil, it's the precious metals and influence in the region between United States and China and Russia. There's a different game being played here. Either way, this happened without congressional approval. It's not what was done, it was how it was done. And that's going to lead to some issues. Not for Trump. Trump has absolute immunity thanks to the Supreme Court. So he can give no, according to them, illegal orders. However, those underneath him that is acting and executing the illegal orders do not have immunity. There's going to come a time where there's going to be backlash, and it's not going to happen this year. At best, if the Democrats win the majority of the House and the Senate in the midterms, you'll start to see all of this play out in 2027 because there's a lot of infighting in the Republican Party as well. I believe 2026 is going to be a transformative year across the board. A lot of things happening that we don't have control over, but we need to be aware of them so we know how to move. Here's another thing, though. Trump has been very, very friendly when it comes to the crypto space. So that means there's an opportunity to make a lot of money, at least for the next year in the crypto space. He's been pardoning and releasing from people from jail that has been convicted from the crypto space. The SEC is now being pro on the crypto side. So there's huge opportunity. Trump doesn't have to be the only family to make $3 billion in a year. All of us can take advantage of this chaos, this wild, wild west that's going on to make a lot of money. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. Doesn't matter what I like or I don't like. I have to react to what's happening in front of us, not debate whether it should or shouldn't to prove that I'm right or wrong. Here's something that when you deal with religion and politics, you're not going to change anybody's mind on what they believe. No amount of facts you put in front of somebody is going to change their opinion. They will always come up with another reason or an excuse or to kick the ball down the curb. It's just, it's a psychological thing, human nature. You believe what you want to believe, period, regardless. So it's a waste of time to attempt to do so. What's not a waste of time is to at least know and acknowledge what's going on and figure out how we can profit from it. So here's some of the top headlines from this morning right now. We got Maduro and his wife to face narco-terrorism conspiracy charges in New York. We snatched and grabbed this fool and flew him out of the country. He's already here before I even woke up. The problem, though, and the rest of the world, if you've been paying attention to international news, is blasting America right now. It's like, dang, are we? Are we the bad guys? We're like Thanos? What the hell? But they're blasting us for how and the precedent that this is going to set. It's also it should be humiliating to freaking Putin because Putin has always been wanting to get um, the president of Ukraine, Zelensky. And when they marched into Ukraine, it was supposed to be this superpower to just roll through Ukraine like it was butter. They couldn't do it in Afghanistan. I don't know why they thought they could do it in Ukraine. They had their soldiers already had their victory outfits ready to go, that they're just going to march through Kiev, and they got their asses kicked. And here we are, what, 2.5, 3 years later, and they still can't take over freaking Ukraine. This is right next door, just hundreds of miles away from Moscow. And the United States just snaps its finger, and we go in there and we take out the president of another country and fly him out of the country before everybody wakes up. Projection of power. We actually can have three conflicts going on at the same time: Iran, Nigeria, Venezuela. American military might is unmatched. How we yield it is what's responsible or not. And there's a lot of civilian deaths. A lot of Venezuelans died last night just to get this fool. Was it legal? That's a topic for another day. So Maduro and his wife to face narco-terrorism conspiracy, yet he pardoned the president of Honduras on the same doggone thing. Man fought off a mountain lion weeks before suspected fatal Colorado attack. Former baseball player Lenny Dykstra faces drug charges after New Year's Day traffic stop. Texas monks. Oh, have you guys been seeing this? There's some Texas monks that's walking from Texas to the Capitol. I saw one of the monks is freaking barefoot. So that's a whole thing. Pizza delivery spike near Pentagon. See, and this is how the news always knows something's about to go down. Just look at the restaurants near the Pentagon. If there's all of a sudden a surge of orders, everybody's up late. Something's about to go down. So pizza delivery spike near the Pentagon before Venezuela strike. Yep. Trump describes capture of Maduro on Fox News, says two U.S. troops in a helicopter hit. What do you mean, two U.S. troops? Did we lose Americans in this? Do we have American casualties? We're aboard the U.S. warship. Okay, Nicolas Maduro. U.S. officials tied the capture to stopping. Yeah. Praising the raid. Okay. On Saturday, the President of the United States. Okay. Oh, there, this. Ooh. We have U.S. casualties. Mm. This isn't, it's going to get messy. It's going to get very, very messy. Trump says U.S. will intervene if Iran violently kills protesters. Mysterious manuscript. The Democrats rip Trump administration for illegal strikes on Venezuela. Trial to begin for police officer charged in delayed response to Uvalde school shooting. Russia seizes most Ukraine land since 2022 invasion. What's the most polarizing news? And I use ground news for those that are watching for the very first time, because ground news just covers the news and then it lets you know who else is covering it. Is the left covering it, the center, and the right? Because a lot of people live in their own bubble. Social media has allowed us to consume only that which we agree with and ignore everything else. So there's a large swath of people that don't even know things are going on. So let's see, right now, the left is not covering this. Venezuelan opposition leader Maria Corina Machado emerges as potential successor after Maduro's fall. The right's covering that. Center is, the left is not. The left is covering dozens missing after boat carrying more than 200 migrants capsized off the coast of Gambia. And the right's only covering 10% of that. All right. I try to be this. Oh, I've only pulled up three stories. No, I'm even there. Left, center, right. I just care about the news. I don't care about a left spin to it or a right spin to it. All right. Based on this information, next thing we do is what's going on with the markets. Now, this is Saturday, so there's a reason why they did that on Friday. Now, what I heard, Trump actually gave the order to do it around Christmas, but we were at the same time striking Nigeria. So they held off. So US ended the Dow up 300 points. We'll see how this looks on Monday morning. So you guys don't want to miss Crypto Talk Monday morning. Europe, all in the green. Asia, mostly in the green. Futures in the green. Whenever there is military action by the US, I got to think about that. The markets kind of spike up at first. We'll see what Monday morning looks like, and we'll have to see the next 48 hours. Because Marco Rubio says we don't need to attack anything else in Venezuela, so there's going to be no more strikes. That was very surgical. They got in there and got him and got out quick before anybody even woke up. So there shouldn't be anything else happening the next 2 days. The crypto market. Let's see. Oh, it's kind of flat, up 0.1%. Bitcoin dominance at 57%. Ethereum has risen. Last time I looked at this was at 11.7%. It's 11.9. Bitcoin is trending. Oh, it's over 90,000 now. Okay. Bitcoin 90,000. This is Saturday, so we got to go week to week. So Bitcoin is up 3% over the last week. Ethereum is up 6.1%. Ripple is up 8.6%. BNB 4.3, Solana 7, Tron 4.3, Doge is up 15.3. Figure HELOC. What's going on here? Why is this flat like this? Hmm. And how is it already ranked number 11? $14.8 billion market cap. Cardano 8.7. So looking at this, the markets had a pretty good week. What outlier here? Zcash is down 1, Monero's down 4. Hype's down 3.5. Canton is up 34.3%. This is a token we caught in Crypto Talk. How many of you guys are still holding on to Knight if you're in our diamond class? Toncoin 14.5. Kronos is up. Polkadot's up 20% on the week. M's up 14. Pepe's up 50%. Wow, that exploded. All right, best performers over the past week. MYX Finance up 71.9%. They're not really on my radar. I've seen them before. Pepe 50, Canton, Pump. That'll be a good token to trade on again. Polkadot, Filecoin, World Liberty Financial, Trump's coin up 18.2%. WorldCoin's up 17.9. This, if you're not in my inner circle, this is the project that has me one of the most nervous about WorldCoin. You got to be in our inner circle to understand why. Sui, Doge, M, Toncoin, Bitensor, Ethena, Avalanche is up 11.4. Ondo, pay attention, Ondo, inner circle, you guys know why. What main project Ondo's looking to be behind. Matic, there's Knight. Knight is up 9.3 on the week. Okay, who are the worst performers over this past week? Tether Gold, Mantle, Monero, Hype, Sky, Zcash, Uniswap. I saw somebody that posted said it's not that gold is doing well, it's that the dollar is doing bad, and that's why the value of gold has risen. That was an interesting way of looking at it. I like that. All right, and MQT. MQT is sitting at $7 a coin. Liquidity is still the same, 400,000. Buy and sales looks about average. So nothing major has moved on this. All right. What are some of the headlines in the news? Crypto news. Bitcoin price $90,000 breakout hangs in the balance as US storms Venezuela. So will this price hold? I think that I did not have, I turned the news off. The president was supposed to give an update at the same time as we started. Has he spoken yet? Because I'm about to end in about 5 minutes and I'm going to be glued to the news. So Bitcoin halted a breakout to new 2026 highs near 91,000. Oh, and we got to go over Monday morning. Remember, we made a not a bet, but we asked a question in Inner Circle said, what will the price of Bitcoin be at the end of the year? And all of you guys made some predictions. You guys remember that? So we're gonna go over that on Monday to see who was right. So Bitcoin ended the year at around $89,000. Let's see. Bitcoin attempts to hold recent gains as the U.S. mounts an attack on Venezuela's capital. Traders remain optimistic about the outlook for Bitcoin price action if certain levels hold. Gold starts to flag on low time frames as Bitcoin gains tap 5% since Christmas. Bitcoin faces geopolitical pressure. See, this is why we cover. Someone's like, Brandy, man, I can't get on your crypto talks because you be talking politics. Okay. Bitcoin faces geopolitical pressure at $90,000. This is why I do what I do. It's not just about reading the chart. You can't do that anymore and try to predict what the market's going to do. You get to see what's going on in the world. News that the U.S. had launched airstrikes in the Venezuelan capital were followed by an announcement from President Trump on Truth Social, in which he said Venezuela's president had been captured and flown out of the country. What time was this? 12:21 p.m. Oh, this is brand new. 9:21 p. Wait a minute. 12:21 p.m. January 3rd. What the what? It's not even it's 11:53 a.m. Huh? This I don't know what time zone that is. With traditional markets closed, Bitcoin attempted to preserve some early yearly gains ahead of futures returning Sunday. If this situation doesn't escalate further, I view the move as a temporary pullback, with the recovery likely soon. 96,000 to 100,000 remains my target for the upcoming days and weeks. Okay. Crypto trader analyst Michael Vanderpop says latest move is a classic Venezuela reaction, maintaining a bullish outlook. Okay, we'll see come Monday morning. Will the price be above 90,000 or go back to around 87,000? 40 gold. Okay, how gold's reacting. All right, so I'm running out of time, so I'm just going to show you guys what the highlights are in the news. Crypto phishing losses fell 83% in 2025, but Drainer ecosystem remains active. Okay, what's this one? Iran now accepts crypto for advanced military equipment. Uh-huh. Drones and ballistic missiles. Who are they getting it from? China, India, Russia, their BRICS partners. All right. Let's see this. NFT market matures in 2025. Utility, gaming, and RWA drive growth. In 2025, the NFT market matured beyond its speculative bubble, shifting toward functional utility and sustainable growth. Market leaders included CryptoPunks, Courtyard, D-Market, and Pudgy Penguins. Pingu. All right. Next topic was Cato Network CEO. It's time to limit the First Amendment to protect it? Wait, wait, wait. You want to limit the First Amendment to protect the First Amendment. How make that make sense? CEO of Cato Networks has publicly called for limiting the provisions of the First Amendment of the U.S. Constitution. The executive justifies these remarks, claiming that it would help protect the country against the evolution of cyber warfare and social media manipulation. I see what he's trying to say, but no, no. You don't do that. But I see what he's trying to say. The intersection of artificial intelligence, social media, and its effects on political stability is now being scrutinized. So you don't cut the First Amendment because of that. You adapt. It's time to limit the First Amendment to protect it. No. And quickly before it's too late. We need to control the platforms, all the social platforms. We need to stack, rank, and authenticity of every person that expresses themselves online and take control of what they are saying. False. Just that last part. Take control of what they are saying. You know, the whole idea of freedom of speech. I may not like what somebody is saying, but I will defend their right to say whatever they want, even if that means calling me the freaking N-word. Freedom of speech. They'll get an ass whooping for doing so, but they have the freedom to do it. Marjorie Taylor Greene, who announced her resignation from Congress, assesses everything we voted against in 2024. Yeah, she's right. Wait, did I just say that? Did I just say Marjorie Taylor Greene was right? Oh my gosh. All right, last up. Billion-dollar Bitcoin hacker Ilya Lichtenstein released early. God, you create a I saw the news this morning too. One of the January 6th rioters that Trump pardoned was shot and killed at a traffic stop with police. I think yesterday. You killed him. You kidding me? Why am I not surprised? So Trump, thanks to President Trump's First Step Act, I have been released from prison early. I remain committed to making a positive impact in cybersecurity as soon as I can. The best New Year's present I could get was finally having my husband home after 4 years of being apart. Well, yeah, well, how about not commit the crime? Bitfinex hack duo arrested in 2022. He hacked. My wife was no way involved in the hack itself. She didn't even know about it for years. So you admitted to hacking it. You admitted to laundering thousands of Bitcoin, and Trump pardoned you. How much money did you donate? Trump said that he was aware of the case and would take a look at it. How much money did he donate? In January last year, and shortly after taking office, Trump granted Ross Ulbricht, the founder of the defunct darknet marketplace Silk Road, got a presidential pardon on his life sentence. I mean, who's next? Ghislaine Maxwell? Ghislaine Maxwell? Is she gonna get pardoned next too? She's already in Club Fed right now. 20-year sentence. She's gonna get pardoned. What about Bitcoin Rodney? Can we free Bitcoin Rodney? Is he gonna get a pardon? Or does he have to, pay that $5 million? All right, that is it for Crypto Talk for today. There is an e-estate presentation happening, or I think training, as opening up right now. So I'm going to hop onto that while I'm watching the news. If any of you guys that are not a part of ILCA and you want to be a part of us, and Marnita, is that site up ilca.app? Get back to the person who invited you. They'll show you how to register with us, be a part of our community. Yeah, there we go. ilca.app. ilca.app. Join our membership. You don't want to miss Crypto Talk this Monday morning. I have no idea what we're about to get and what we're going to see and what the markets are going to look like. So that excites me. I love learning something new. Those of you that want to be able to be positioned to earn passive income, especially with tokenized real estate. I'm telling you guys, as every week that goes by, I'm getting more and more excited. So we'll see how that Miami event turns out. But all I know is that I've made more than $3,000 without having to sign up a single freaking person off of my own investment. Hmm. Documentation always speaks. And congratulations again to this community for receiving almost $1 million in business funding to use as you please. I think the biggest gainer, I'm not going to say her name because I don't want to put a target on her back or nothing like that. But congratulations, you know who I'm talking to. I didn't even know you got that much or your position to get that much. Be very careful with what you do with it. 'Cause I'm out of the loop on that now. To be very careful what you do with your money. That's the whole point of the education. Be diversified. You do not put all your eggs in one basket. With that, thank you guys for being here. Thank you, Miss Casa, for your hard work. Be on the lookout for everything we got going on this month. And we will see you guys on the inner circle Monday morning. And I will be doing another Facebook Live about passive income later on today. Take care, everybody. Brandon Ivey out. Bye bye.